Live from the Pritchard Laughlin Civic Center, AVC Communications presents Meet the Candidates. This program is brought to you by Bill Kogel for Guernsey County Commissioner, Guernsey County Senior Citizens Center, Amy Kissinger for Guernsey County Commissioner, and the Pritchard Laughlin Civic Center.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Meet the Candidates. The purpose of this program, created and produced by AVC News, is to educate local residents to help them make an informed decision regarding races and issues in the upcoming March primary election. I'm your moderator tonight, Bill Kassler. Tonight we'll be hearing from Guernsey County Commissioner Jack Marlin. He'll be discussing the county's $3.2 million 5-year emergency medical services levy. Now, this levy does exclude voters in the city of Cambridge. And also, we'll be hearing from both candidates in our area's most critical contested election this March, a race for a spot on the ballot as the Republican Party candidate for Guernsey County Commissioner. Thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more right after this.
You are watching and listening to Meet the Candidates, a program produced and sponsored by AVC Communications. To watch this program online or to view all election results, visit yourradioplace.com.
Guernsey County Senior Citizens Center cordially invites seniors to join us for lunch at one of our many countywide congregate dining sites. In-person dining is available at Guernsey County Senior Citizens Center, Cambridge, Pleasant City United Methodist Church in Pleasant City, and Londonderry Freeport Masonic Lodge. Or to receive Meals on Wheels delivered directly to your home, please call 740-439-5717. Together, we can deliver.
I'm Amy Kissinger, asking for your vote to be your county commissioner. As a lifelong resident of Guernsey County and an accomplished business professional, I have a reputation for doing what I say I'm going to do, and I'm proud of that. I will work hard to find answers to the challenges we face, like the EMS crisis, infrastructure, and the unsustainable financial burden created by constantly rising property taxes. I have a proven track record of fiscal responsibility. I know how government works, and I know how to get things done. Vote Kissinger for Guernsey County Commissioner.
Paid for by Friends of Amy Kissinger.
We play a key role in both our own future and the future of those around us.
Regardless of your age, gender,
race, or financial situation, no matter who you are or how you define yourself.
On Election Day, each one of us can have an impact on all of us.
These elected officials determine policy that affects our everyday lives.
So do your research
and know the candidates.
And make sure you are registered to vote.
Then whether early, absentee, or in person on Election Day,
we want you to vote.
We're casting our ballots. Please join us.
Hi, I'm Bill Kogel. I'm running for Guernsey County Commissioner. I have served in local government for 23 years. The last 12 years I have been president of Cambridge City Council. Over my adult life, I have tried to serve this community and pay back all the good things that this county has done for me and my family. I want to continue the cooperative relationship between the county and other government entities. I am asking for your vote on March 19th. Let's move Guernsey County into a positive future.
Paid for by Kogel for Commissioner.
The Pritchard Laughlin Civic Center is proud to host tonight's Meet the Candidates and many other community events. To find out about more upcoming events, go online to pritchardlaughlin.com or like them on Facebook. Mark your calendars now for the Cambridge Area Chamber Home Garden and Business Expo on March 8th and 9th, and the Cambridge Lions Club show God and Country on stage March 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Reserve your ticket by calling the Pritchard Laughlin box office at 439-7009.
You are watching and listening to Meet the Candidates, a program produced and sponsored by AVC Communications. To watch this program online or to view all election results, visit yourradioplace.com.
Welcome back to Meet the Candidates, and welcome County Commissioner Jack Marlin. Jack, you served on Cambridge City Council for multiple terms. You made the move up. You're a county commissioner now. I want you to tell me a little bit. First term, how's that job going?
Well, Bill, it's not like city council, I'll tell you that. I really do enjoy this job. It gives me an opportunity to help people. That's why I ran. I enjoyed helping people of the city of Cambridge. Now I'm helping the people of the Guernsey County. And I just want to thank some of the people that helped me get here. I leaned on your wife a lot she was the clerk for the city council, and very, very informative. Now I kind of work for Michelle Long. I tell everybody, I have women telling me what to do every day, but I'm very appreciative of that, because you're only as good as what you're surrounded with. And I do really thank you for the opportunity, Guernsey County, to serve you in this next term. So appreciate it.
Hey, speaking of helping people, we're going to be talking about the 3.2 mil 5-year levy for emergency medical services for residents in the county. Now, this does exclude voters in the city of Cambridge. And I've got to ask you, first off, the big question you're probably getting at all these forums that you've done around the county is just how is this levy going to benefit the residents of Guernsey County?
Well, first of all, we had sat down with the chiefs. They had made it known to us that we had an EMS problem in our county, because I do believe probably 40% of the county didn't have any idea that we had an EMS problem. But I just wanted everyone to know that every volunteer fire department, which there are 11 in our county, is going to be participating in this to make this, if this passes, to make this more convenient for people to get responses. We want people to know that they're safe. Our job is to protect and serve, and that's what I take very seriously in this job. I'm just thankful to have the opportunity to do that. But the benefits of this is just there's going to be more people that you can rely on to come and get you if you have a stroke, heart attack, or anything like that. Right now, we don't have that.
Well, also, it's going to benefit in response times. And when you talk about people, you're basically speaking about paramedics and EMTs, specifically trained people.
Correct.
They're going to respond to emergencies. And one of the things that you and I had talked about is that response time should be drastically cut if this levy passes. Can you explain why?
If the levy passes, first of all, I want to make sure that everybody knows who the responding people will be. Old Washington, Byesville, Antrim, Castle Station, Quaker City, Cumberland, Fairview. These are first responders now. Fairview, Liberty, Lore City, Pleasant City, and Senecaville. I want you to, all the people of Guernsey County, I want you to know that all of these people have come together to put this together. The commissioners are just kind of spearheading this, but the professionalism that we have in our county with the people that have always served you on the volunteer fire departments, they're the ones that we are relying on to make this happen. But to answer your question, the response time will be cut drastically, because we will have people on station that can come and get you when that tone comes in. There's 4 minutes between tones before we go to the next department. So basically, when we have a tone, instead of somebody driving to the station, getting in a car and coming to get you, that's all excluded. Now we can just leave the station, put the garage door up, and we're en route to you.
Another thing that we talked about was the number of EMTs and paramedics actually in the county. And we're expecting, with the passage of this levy, that the number of working professionals in this field will increase with the passage of the levy. Can you explain how?
That is correct. With the meetings with the departments, we do have 8 or 9 paramedics that leave our county, and they serve other counties because we don't have anything being paid in our county. We feel that they had told us that they will be coming back to live in to work in their county, and the EMTs, we have plenty of EMTs at this time, but the paramedics and the advanced EMTs, I want to make sure I get this right because Mrs. Regan will get on me if I don't. We want to make sure that everybody knows that there's going to be 4 areas of medical responders. There's going to be paramedics, advanced EMTs, EMTs, and AMRs. And I just want, or EMRs, I just want everybody to know that we will have the staffing according to what we're being told by the departments. When this gets started, it's going to be a little bit bumpy, but we're hoping and praying that it'll work. The guys feel that it worked. They're doing it now. they're just not being compensated.
All right, well, probably the biggest question that you've received in going out and about among the residents of the county is, Jack, how much is this going to cost us?
Well, it's going to cost, we're running a 3.2 mil levy as the city did. Ours is going to generate at 100% generation of collection is going to be $3,089,000. With people that can't and don't pay their taxes, we've allowed a 2.4 million to run this. It's going to be paid by 100% appraisal value of your property. For every 100,000, it's going to cost you $112 a year. At this time, I'd like to kind of give you an idea how you can get on the auditor's website to give you an idea how much you're going to pay for this due to your property value. You can get on the Guernsey County Auditor's website, search by name, parcel number, or address. When it comes on, underneath the picture of your house, which will be an aerial view, it'll be 2024 primary election, March 19th of 2024. It'll have EMS levy, and it will tell you exactly how much it's going to cost you if this levy passes. Something that you might want to get on to see how much it's going to cost you, and hopefully that doesn't sway your vote, because when we have to protect and serve people and keep them safe, we have to pay for that. The volunteer right now, it's getting a little skimpy. We still have them, but we need them for this EMS, and the only way we can do it is this way.
Follow-up question to that, and I'm sure that that's one you've heard a lot as well, is how come you had to use property tax?
The reason why we had to use property tax, there were some questions on sales tax. Sales tax, of course, you know, half of that goes to the state. And it wasn't going to be a sustainable thing to pay these guys what we had come up with. It just wasn't going to work. It wasn't going to be feasible for these guys to do what they're doing, but we want to make it so enticing for them to come out. Some of these guys are going to be paid by the hour. Some of them are going to be paid by per run. And we basically come up with this number. All of us, all 11 departments came up with this number, and that's what we chose to do. But sales tax wasn't going to be one of them. One of them said income tax, but the property tax, unfortunately, everybody owns property. Some own more. But the thing is, though, I think this is probably the biggest thing that's happened in Guernsey County in the last 20 years. If this passes, we're trying to address something that we're in dire straits. Right now, the department says if this, and I'm not using this as a scare tactic by no means. We're very passionate about this. The two guys I work with work long and hard with the departments to put this thing together. And we're just really praying that you guys look at it, think about your neighbor, and say, I may not need this, but, and then you vote.
Okay, thank you very much on that. Another question I know that you've heard a lot of course, the levy is going to generate some funds. Now, somebody has to make a decision as to where that goes. Who will make the final decisions financially with the funds generated by this levy?
Basically, that will come down to any kind of final decisions will come down to the county commissioners. We do discuss things with the fire departments, and basically we would go with what some of the things that they have to say, but we want to make sure we want to be fair across the board. We don't want anybody to feel slighted, but we want people, one, to trust us. I believe you can. I don't work in an office that you can't trust. Unfortunately, there's been some negativity on this, and we have taken some shots, but that's all part of this job. If you run for this job, you're going to take some shots from the taxpayers because they want to know where their money's going. I pay taxes in the city. I was thankful that that levy passed in the city. And I want to show people how much we want this to pass to help the county constituents. But no, I just think that people need to just really kind of sit back and say, you know what, this is something that we need and we're going to have to pay for it.
Well, and you and I talked about this. The The one thing that you want with emergency response, when you need emergency response, you want the best trained personnel there with the best equipment, and you want them there as soon as is possible. This levy should do that, and I want you to mention one more time, this is our last question, which county fire departments will be involved in this levy?
I'm going to break it down for you real quick. The 24/7 responders, the transports, are going to be Old Washington and Byesville. The reason why is they're centrally located in our county. They can get to the interstate quick. That's what we're shooting for. Response time is everything. Antrim and Castle Station. I want to make mention that a lot of these responders and transporters have really saved our bacon in the last year and a half. I want to make sure that we put a plug for Castle Station. They've handled probably over 90% of the calls. I'm just so thankful for these guys that want to do that. But Antrim and Castle will run a 7-day, 12-hour shift. Quaker will run a 7-day, 8-hour shift. And Cumberland right now, due to staffing issues down there, they're going to pay per run, and that'll be up to the chiefs on how they distribute that money. Those are your transport units. The first responders are Fairview, Liberty, Lower City, Pleasant City, and Senecaville. All 5 of those first responders their chiefs you can't brag enough about them. We went out to Pleasant City and Mr. Reagan, he got called out before the meeting even started. But we seen that firsthand that these guys, they're on the scene, but if they're in the station, our response time will be tremendous. And that's what we really concern ourselves about, is passing this and getting the response and getting you help as quick as we can. But those are the 11 people, or the 11 stations that are involved in this heavily.
All right, County Commissioner Jack Moreland discussing the primary elections $3.2 million 5-year levy for emergency medical services for the county. Get out and vote, please, this year. Support this levy. It'll be a good thing. And Jack, I want to thank you for joining us for this session of Meet the Candidates.
Thanks, Bill. It's been my pleasure.
All right. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more from Meet the Candidates right after this.
You are watching and listening to Meet the Candidates, a program produced and sponsored by AVC Communications. To watch this program online or to view all election results, visit yourradioplace.com.
Guernsey County Senior Citizen Center cordially invites seniors to join us for lunch at one of our many countywide congregate dining sites. In-person dining is available at Guernsey County Senior Citizen Center, Cambridge, Pleasant City United Methodist Church in Pleasant City, and Londonderry Freeport Masonic Lodge. Or to receive Meals on Wheels delivered directly to your home, please call 740-439-5717. Together, we can deliver.
Hi, I'm Bill Kogel. I'm running for Guernsey County Commissioner. I have served in local government for 23 years. The last 12 years I have been president of Cambridge City Council. Over my adult life, I have tried to serve this community and pay back all the good things that this county has done for me and my family. I want to continue the cooperative relationship between the county and other government entities. I am asking for your vote on March 19th. Let's move Guernsey County into a positive future.
Paid for by Kogel for Commissioner.
We play a key role in both our own future and the future of those around us.
Regardless of your age, gender,
Race, or financial situation, no matter who you are or how you define yourself.
On Election Day, each one of us can have an impact on all of us.
These elected officials determine policy that affects our everyday lives.
So do your research
And know the candidates.
And make sure you are registered to vote.
Then whether early, absentee,
or in person on Election Day,
we want you to vote.
We're casting our ballots. Please join us.
I'm Amy Kissinger, asking for your vote to be your county commissioner. As a lifelong resident of Guernsey County and an accomplished business professional, I have a reputation for doing what I say I'm going to do, and I'm proud of that. I will work hard to find answers to the challenges we face, like the EMS crisis, infrastructure, and the unsustainable financial burden created by constantly rising property taxes. I have a proven track record of fiscal responsibility. I know how government works, and I know how to get things done. Vote Kissinger for Guernsey County Commissioner.
Paid for by Friends of Amy Kissinger.
The Pritchard Laughlin Civic Center is proud to host tonight's Meet the Candidates and many other community events. To find out about more upcoming events, go online to pritchardlaughlin.com or like them on Facebook. Mark your calendars now for the Cambridge Area Chamber Home Garden and Business Expo on March 8th and 9th, and the Cambridge Lions Club show God and Country on stage March 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. Reserve your ticket by calling the Pritchard Laughlin box office at 439-7009.
You are watching and listening to Meet the Candidates, a program produced and sponsored by AVC Communications. To watch this program online or to view all election results, visit yourradioplace.com.
Welcome back to Meet the Candidates, our most critical contested election. This March is a race for a spot on the ballot as the Republican candidate for Guernsey County Commissioner. Our two candidates, Amy Kissinger and Bill Kogel. The rules are as follows. I went over these rules earlier. I'll reiterate them for the benefit of the audience. All questions have been drafted by the AVC News Department. Opening and closing remarks may not exceed 60 seconds in length. Answers to the questions must be 60 seconds or less. First candidate to respond will have the option for a 30-second rebuttal if they consider it necessary after their opponent's response. No signs, charts, or other props may be used during the program. Paper notes and notes taken during the forum are encouraged. Electronic devices are not permitted. Each candidate will be given the opportunity to ask their opponent 2 questions during the end of the segment before closing remarks. Each candidate is expected to answer the same question they ask their opponent if it applies. Candidates are not required to ask any questions. Bill, Amy, welcome to Meet the Candidates. Let's get underway. And the first question goes to you, Ms. Kissinger. You drew the, did you win the flip or did you lose?
Opening statement.
Oh, we just agreed.
Yeah. Oh, we just agreed? Okay. Quick opening statement then.
It's actually her turn to go first.
Quick opening statement
That's
then.
right.
We will start with you, Amy.
Thank you. Thank you, AVC and Pritchard Laughlin Civic Center, for hosting this event tonight. As a lifelong resident of Guernsey County, I have always been grateful for the support of our community, which has enabled me to use my God-given strengths and talents to serve. In my young 20s, I first served on our city council here in Cambridge. More recently, I've served 2 terms on our school board. It has been my long-term goal to run for a seat on our Guernsey County Board of Commissioners to continue serving our community. As I've been meeting with many of you and hearing firsthand of your concerns and hopes for our county, the themes of our conversation have primarily been public safety, infrastructure, and finances. I have a proven track record of successful county government experience in these areas to demonstrate that I am the best candidate for this position. If elected, I will work hard to find answers to the challenges we face, like the EMS crisis, the need for infrastructure upgrades, and the unsustainable financial burden created by constantly rising property taxes. I'm asking for your vote to be your Guernsey County Commissioner.
Thank you, Amy. Opening statement, Bill Kogel.
I'm Bill Kogel. I'm running for County Commissioner. Pretty much what Amy said goes a long way. But I've been involved in local government for 23 of the last 27 years. I started out on city council as a ward rep, then went at large and did that for 6 years. It was off for 4 years after I got hurt, and came back after my injury had gotten better to the point where I ran for president of city council and have held that position for the last 12 years. I've had a lot of local government experience, a lot. I've been in countless meetings with commissioners over the 23 years that I've been involved. I feel that I know the position very well. I know what it takes. I know what some of the pending issues that are out there. I've been in some of the meetings that have resulted in the start of what hopes to be some real answers to some of the issues out in the county. So I appreciate your support all over the place.
All right, and with that, we're going to move on to the question and answer segment of the program, and we're going to start. First question will go to you, Amy, and this is an easy one. Why are you the best candidate for commissioner?
Thank you, Bill. I have worked the majority of my adult life in county governments programs around Guernsey County and Southeast Ohio. I have a long service to our community history in various capacities. There's a distinction between being an employee of county government as opposed to being elected to positions in it, and I feel that it uniquely qualifies me to understand the inner workings of government. You know, the differences between public finance and private finance, they are not the same, they are very different. I have a proven track record of being fiscally conservative in those roles, and I know how to get things done. So I believe that all of my work experiences qualify me to hit the ground running day one of this position.
Thank you, Amy. Same question for you, Bill. What makes you the best candidate for commissioner?
I think the 23 years of experience I have in local government gives me a big edge in that I've been involved in every aspect of city government, and as far as the finances are concerned, as far as legislation has been concerned, and as far as civic services has been concerned. I spent my entire adult life since I came back here from college being involved in this community and trying to keep trying to pay back to this community what this community has given my family. You know, we were lucky enough to have a business that fed 38 families and had 25 trucks running around this county. You know, we didn't take it ever take that as we never did take that lightly. It was always something that meant something to us all, and I just tried to give back to this community in a way that you know, that could really show appreciation for the way this county has treated us. So, but that's what I feel makes me more qualified.
Any rebuttal, Amy?
No, thank you.
Okay, move on to the second question. This question goes to Bill first. Bill, is there a single issue that prompted you to run for this office, and if so, what is it?
I don't know if there's a single issue. I mean, there are several issues. You know, of late, of course, it's been what you just talked about, the EMS issue and the situation that is at hand here, and the importance of trying to solve this. You know, the other issues that have been going on are like what's happening with the water and sewer in the county as well as the city, and there's been some major discussion going on there. I think some of the other issues may be, you know, obviously we've always talked about the issue with jail space and the overcrowding, and I don't know, you know, if we'll ever figure the answer out for that, but would sure like to sit down in the right forum and give that some discussion. So I think those are the major issues right now. I mean, extension of water lines and everything else, all that the people in the township meetings and the village meetings that we've gone to, they've expressed that, and this is part, I think, what maybe could be solved with what's being discussed right now.
Okay, Amy, same question. Is there a single issue that prompted you to run for this office, and if so, what is it?
There really isn't. I do not come to this position with an agenda, but with a desire to continue in service to our community. As I stated before, I believe that the totality of the Commissioner's office surrounds the three categories of public safety, infrastructure, and the county's finances. And I believe that if those things are healthy and well, that they form a bedrock for success in all other areas of our community. I believe that we need to work better at working together. You know, I think that there is room for improvement for our relationships within and without of our community, and I believe that those are strengths that I bring to this office if elected.
Any rebuttal, Bill?
No.
Okay, moving on to our third question. This will go to Amy first, and this is about a hot button issue right now. The current EMS levy. If the current county EMS levy that's on the March ballot fails, Amy, what should the Commissioner's response be?
I've been attending a lot of the EMS town hall meetings and meeting with various fire station chiefs and staff over the past several months, and I've become quite familiar with the issue. I think that it's our due diligence as candidates to study this issue and be very prepared to address it in the event we are elected, so that's what I'm doing. I think that there's been an evolution that has occurred in these town hall meetings, at least I've witnessed it, where it appears that the plan's becoming more solid the more meetings there are and the more community input there is received. And I think that's the big point that we need to focus on. The community input has been valuable to figuring this issue out. So whether it passes or fails, and especially if it passes, Bill, it's an incredible amount of financial resources from our residents. So even if it passes, we need to continue to find ways to engage the community and receive their input on how to address this going forward.
Same question for you, Bill. The current county EMS levy that's on the March ballot, if it fails, what should the commissioner's response be?
Well, I think that they're going to have to come back together with the fire chiefs and try to figure out why it failed and what might be the response to that. And as Amy said, there's been a lot of public input into this thing. There's been a lot of misconceptions. We've gone to some township meetings and met with some of the officials there and village meetings, and they really have some confusion about what might be the possibilities here. We've encouraged them to go to the town hall meetings and learn a little bit more and ask the questions, or call directly to their fire chiefs and find out what the answers are to the questions that they have. I think that there are some good answers out there. I'd like to see this thing pass. Is it the end all? No. Is it the most perfect plan? Well, we all know there's only one perfect thing, and that's God, Jesus Christ. But outside of that, it's going to be the responsibility of the commissioners to try to figure this thing out.
All right, thank you very much. Amy, any rebuttal?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Sadly, the government is the fat cat that just keeps getting fatter. And we cannot continue to look to property taxes as the easy button for funding issues, even as important as this one is. And I think the saddest thing about this is that we are replacing a business that was in the private sector with one that will be government funded. I think that the worst case scenario would be that we would end up with a county operated EMS service, and I think that we should work really hard to prevent that from happening. It should be a last case scenario because it will be so expensive. And even if this passes, we need to continue to look for other resources outside of Guernsey County to fund this important service.
Okay, thank you, Amy. All right, moving on to our next question. This one will go to Bill first. Bill, what are your short-term priorities for Guernsey County? And conversely, what are your long-term priorities for the county?
Well, I think the short-term would be, to like say, there's some things that are in the works right now that I would like to see come to fruition. There's things that I firmly believe will help the county residents out considerably, like with the water and sewer issues. The fact that there's some areas of this county that are desperate for county water, and I think that it'd be good to see some of that happen. By getting and making sure that this isn't just in the discussion stage, but into an action stage. Long term, and it kind of falls into short term as well. There's been a spirit of cooperation that has improved immensely over the last 9 years. I want to see that continue. I think that if you had gone into meetings before 9 years ago, you would have gone in with some apprehension and come out even worse. Today's meetings, you come in with a little apprehension, you come out feeling that the meeting was pretty good.
All right, thank you. Okay, Amy, same question. What are your short-term priorities for Guernsey County, and what are your long-term priorities for the county?
Short term, I believe that one of the things that I would love to be a part of finding a solution to is the lack of our ability to communicate with our residents, something that has resulted from not having a daily paper that is in healthy function anymore. And I don't think it's acceptable for us to just say, well, we don't have that anymore, so this is the best we can do. I think that we need to find a way to connect with our constituency to receive their input better. And we've seen it work beautifully with this town hall process. The commissioners have done an amazing job and they put in a ton of hours to meet with people where they are. I don't know if that's going to be the answer to every issue that we need to communicate, but we've got to figure this out, because one thing we've witnessed is that we do better as a government when our constituency is participating and making the hard decisions with us. One of the first things I'd like to do is try to figure out a way to make that better. Long term, we all read the news today. Automobile manufacturing facility in Dover bringing 650 new jobs and $54 million in associated payroll to Wayne and Tuscarawas counties. Rural economic development is far from dead, and I believe that we need to apply a renewed effort and energy to exploring those opportunities and see what we can do to bring more to Guernsey County.
Thank you, Amy. Bill, any rebuttal?
Yeah, in our meetings going out to the township trustees and the villages, I've made them a pledge that it's not the last time they'll see me. It's not, and I don't mean 4 years from now when it's time to run for re-election. It's we'll be out on a regular basis and to find out what their needs are and what's going on. So, Amy talked about improved communications, and I think that's one of the ways we'll do that. The other thing that she just talked about, it just popped right out of my mind, but it was about the lack of having a newspaper and trying to find some type of resolve for that. It's a sad situation that our paper has left us, and we don't even have a reporter now in this area that doesn't do anything but sports. So it's too bad that has happened, and it's something that we'd like to try to figure out.
That's time. All right, next question, and this will first go to Amy. Amy, in the event of a budget shortfall, what cuts would you make first and why?
That is a very complicated question, and it assumes that all funds are created equal and can be spent on anything, and that's just not true. Government finance, and again, this is a strength that I believe I bring to this job, is that I understand the nuances of government finance and how it's different from private sector finance. There are a multitude of streams of revenue, and so if a budget cut is presenting itself, it's likely identified to a revenue stream that only impacts certain things. You can't just spend all of the money on anything that you want. So with all due respect to the question, I feel that it lacks the specifics needed. Obviously, the process for doing something like that would be to know your budget very well, to know what's necessary and what can be lived without. But again, we cannot continue to go to property tax owners as the easy button for all of our funding needs.
Okay, same question. Bill, in the event of a budget shortfall, what cuts would you make first and why?
Yeah, Amy's right. It depends on which budget is falling short. In the city, we always had trouble, and the most trouble in our general fund budget because of all the things that it funds, and that's what generally comes to the budget from the taxpayers, outside of what they pay for the water and sewer, and what they pay for the street tax. All those monies are designated for where they go. So if it's in the city, it's generally the general fund. I think that the commissioners obviously struggle with the same situation. So it would be tough to say without knowing the specifics of why the budget fall was there and in what budget the fall is in.
Any rebuttal, Amy?
No, thank you.
All right, moving on to the next question. This will go to Bill first. And this is something we just touched on, actually. Do you think that communications between the county commissioner's office, the public, and the media is adequate? Why or why not? How would you change communications to make the commissioner's office more transparent?
I think the three commissioners we have now are doing a great job of communicating with the public. It's a situation where you just got to put yourself out there and go find out what their needs are and if there's a way for you to be able to help them. Obviously, the radio station, ABC Communications, does an excellent job of putting the news out there as best they possibly can. And again, back to the lack of the newspaper, that's really hurt our community. I don't know what the answer is there, because newspaper business has changed all the way around the world. I have a friend that used to write for the Plain Dealer, saw the writing on the wall. Now he's into public relations for Case Western. We need to figure out different ways of making new types of communication with the public, and add to it however we possibly can.
Same question, Amy. Do you think communications between the county commissioner's office, the public, and the media is adequate? Why or why not? And how would you change communications to make the commissioner's office more transparent?
Thank you. I believe that, like so many other things, that probably depends on who you ask. I agree that we have 3 very hardworking commissioners in the office right now, and they do communicate with people. I think that it's also the responsibility of the community to be paying attention, probably more than they are. Apathy among our voters is a real problem with why sometimes we lack transparency simply because you're not watching. And so the community needs to be a part of that solution, along with people in positions of authority in our government. A couple of the ideas that I have, though, of things that I would discuss, if I'm elected commissioner, I would be one of 3, and my first priority would be to work as a team member, with the other commissioners. But first on my list for discussion on that issue would be email distribution list. If you're a community member and you want to know what's going on, let's build an email distribution list and let's send our agenda. Let's send our minutes out to whomever wants to see them. Let's discuss televising our meetings live on YRP TV like City Council does. Give people an opportunity to make themselves informed.
Bill, any rebuttal?
Just the fact that, I guess the exasperation part of it is, for me, is the fact that, we just talked about this in a session we had with the city. We had a retreat today, and we talked about the ability of building like a Facebook site that was non-responsive, but just put information out there to the public. There's several different social media things that we could use in order to do that, but I'm still skeptical of the use of social media.
Thank you. We'll move on to our next question now, and this we'll go to Amy first. Amy, full-time job. There's a great number of demands put on a county commissioner from day one. You're running for your first term as commissioner. You're not familiar with the job. How have you begun to prepare for this office?
Thank you, Bill. One of the things that I've been doing, and I describe it as the process of when you purchase a property or a home, you're usually required to make an earnest payment. And I believe that I've been doing that by meeting with different township trustees, different office holders, different boards. I've already begun investing and understanding the issues more intimately. That will be a matter of business for a county commissioner. And I've been enjoying that. So that is exactly how I'm preparing, is essentially shadowing the role now.
Same question, Bill. Great number of demands on a county commissioner from day one. It's a full-time job. You're both running for your first term. How have you begun to prepare for this office?
Well, I ain't doing nothing else. So, I've been being involved. I just, it's one of those situations where, and I've had where Amy's had to go and talk to people. I've been in meetings with them because I sit on the CIC board. I've been, like I said before, I've been involved in meetings with countless meetings with the commissioners over different areas. I'm actually reading the Ohio County Commissioners Association handbook. I've been going through that whenever there's a spare moment, and Amy can tell you there's not been many spare moments in this process we call campaigning. I just feel that I've had an advantage in that area because of the fact that I've been involved in it so much.
Amy, any rebuttal?
Yes, please. Remember that I've worked for county governments for most of my adult life. I already understand the role of the county commissioner and how it relates with, and the role of the county auditor and the county treasurer, and all of those important and different positions and how they work together. So I will be bringing that experience with me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next question. This goes to Bill first. In terms of funding, Bill, a large portion of the county budget goes to the Guernsey County Sheriff's Office. Now, do you feel that the Sheriff's Office is adequately funded? Why or why not?
All right, I have a friend that was very successful in business, and he used to say before every meeting, the answer is money. Now what's the question? Sadly, that's always the problem. Sam Slupo used to say, we have a finite amount of resources and an infinite number of wants and needs. So I don't know that the sheriff's office will ever be fully funded the way it needs to be, but it's just like any other part of the county's government, and the way it's funded. You do the best with what you got, and you try to make it work. You happen to be having a choice. You make it work to your best advantage.
Okay, same question, Amy. In terms of funding, a large portion of the county budget does go to the Guernsey County Sheriff's Office. Is the Sheriff's Office adequately funded? Why or why not?
I don't know if they're adequately funded. I will always be first to say if I'm not familiar enough with something to offer an opinion on it. But I will go back to the difference between government office and private sector. And world without end, we have never seen a government program become smaller or operate on a smaller budget over time. They just continue to grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And at some point, there has to be a balance between the cost of operating our government, which is to provide services to the people who are paying for it, and the ability of the taxpayer to afford the growth in government. So all of those things require healthy cooperative relationships where people are willing to spend the time together, understanding the needs of each department, what is needed, and again, not just sitting around and thinking that we're always just going to solve our problems in our room with ourselves. We need to network outside of ourselves. We need to look for state and federal funding when appropriate. We need to go after grants when that's the appropriate thing to do, which again is something that I do have experience with.
Bill, any rebuttal?
Just quickly, when I got into city government, and I kind of felt the same way everybody else did too. There's grants for everything. Well, there's not grants for everything, but you do have to be diligent in going out and try to find whatever grants are available to come back to your community. It's our tax dollars that went out of here. We should be diligent and try to bring back as much of those tax dollars as possible.
Thank you very much. Next question, and oh, wait a minute, I'm sorry. I did not get any kind of rebuttal from you on that one. Did I get a rebuttal?
No, that was
I think he gave the rebuttal.
That was a rebuttal. Thank you very much. Okay,
I
can't read my own notes. Keep that in mind. All right, let's move on to the next question. An important question, actually, and this will go to Amy first. What role do the county commissioners play in bringing new jobs to Guernsey County? Job creation, basically.
Well, there are other entities, and it is their primary responsibility to do those things. I think that the role of county commissioner can be as influential and impactful as the commissioner wants it to be. Certainly, in the three categories that I identified before of public safety, infrastructure, and county's finances, those are the bedrock. And if those things aren't healthy, then economic development is not going to be successful either. So I believe that their role is vitally important because they are in a position to know the inner workings of all government functions in the county, and they need to be at a seat at that table when those important decisions are being made.
Same question, Bill. What role do county commissioners play in bringing new jobs to Guernsey County?
Yeah, and Amy's right. They do need to be sitting on the boards in these seats that make these decisions. And fortunately, a lot of the positions, the boards that do this kind of work, they do sit on. One of them being the CIC. And there's a very important program that we actually this retreat this morning has helped me out better than I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be a hindrance, but the idea of job retention is just as important as job creation, and more so probably because there are certain areas or industries in this county that have looked at maybe moving, and they've been convinced to stay, and that has been a huge help to keeping people working in this county. The second thing would be taking the kids out and taking them into these plants. And this is a program that's been started now. And again, the commissioners are part of it because they're part of the boards. And they take these kids out and show them what's available for them and give them the opportunity to understand that there's opportunities here for them. So job retention, I think, is very important as well.
Thank you. Any rebuttal, Amy?
Sure. As I mentioned earlier, the success that we have read about today in Tuscarawas County, I think is very encouraging and exciting for us in Guernsey. And I think that anyone who's been reading about it sees that there is a resurgence of automobile manufacturing type jobs coming back to America. And I think that our county should be poised to seize the moment in seeking those opportunities. And to that end, I've already begun developing an economic development plan that I look forward to discussing, with my partners in the office if I'm elected.
Okay, all right, and we are starting to run out of time, if you can believe that or not. It's gone pretty quickly tonight. We're going to move on to our candidates' questions forum, and for that, each candidate will be able to ask the other 2 questions. Amy, we're going to start with you. You have a question for Bill.
I believe the question's mine.
It is.
You believe the question's yours?
Go ahead.
Hate to interrupt you, partner, but we've got this worked out.
Okay. Good.
Actually, I have 2 questions for you, Amy. The first one is, are you sick of green beans yet? And the second would be, how's your mom and dad?
Thank you. I really like green beans. I know it hasn't been your favorite at all of these dinners, but they have been enjoyable, spending time with people. My parents are doing great. Thanks for asking. Much better.
Thanks.
It was a rough winter.
All right, and now for your questions. I can't wait.
Well, I'll just ask one. You know how people will have a contest sometimes where they'll set a jar on the table and it'll be like full of jelly beans, and they'll say, you win a prize if whoever can guess accurately how many jelly beans is in the jar. So my friends and I actually have a friendly wager going on just exactly how many signs do you have out there, Bill?
Well, I told you the answer is going to be surprising. I'm not done yet.
Oh my God.
Printers are happy. Okay, all right. And that, believe it or not, does bring us to our closing statements. And this time, I'm going to get to call the shots. You have 60 seconds. Bill, I need a closing statement. Please get us out of this.
Sure enough. I didn't really prepare anything because I wanted you to know that from my heart, Guernsey County, I moved here before I was 2 years old, so it holds all my memories, it holds my heart, and it holds my passion. And I've waited my turn, which I thought is my turn, to run for this position. Waited for Skip to finally say he was going to retire, and I want to do more to help this county, and that's why I'm running. I've got a good grasp of what goes on, how this job's done. I just have a passion for Guernsey County, and I want to keep it moving forward and try to bring some things back that we've lost, and maybe bring in some new things that might be exciting, and just maybe polish the apple a little bit.
Thank you, Bill Kogel. Amy, closing statement, please.
Thank you. I have a long history of public service in our community, and I have a reputation for being accessible, listening, and responding to your concerns. I have extensive experience working for county governments. I understand the nuances of how government agencies operate, like the important distinctions between public and private finance. I have a proven record of applying a fiscally conservative approach to managing taxpayer dollars, and I believe strongly that we cannot keep using property taxes as our easy button. I've lived my entire life in Guernsey County, and my heart is for our community. As your county commissioner, I will be focused on issues that are foundational to our quality of life, such as public safety, infrastructure needs, and the county's finances. I will work hard to find answers and implement solutions that will benefit everyone, including our future generations. If you want a tireless worker with a passion for public service, if you believe, as I do, that we can work to advance our economy and preserve our agricultural heritage and our small town way of life, if you believe, as I do, that our best days could still be ahead of us and that our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren are worth our best efforts to invest in their future, if you believe, as I do, that Guernsey County is worth fighting for, then I ask for your vote on March 19. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy Kissinger, and a great job by both candidates.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming tonight. Glad you're all here. That's it. I want to thank you for joining us for this edition of Meet the Candidates. Thanks to the entire AVC News team. I want to include Mike McKay sitting right out here in front. He's our timer. He also helped to compose questions. Our general manager, Joel Lasigo, for his technical expertise. Keep in mind, this program is available on demand online on our website, yourradioplace.com. Check it out. I'm Bill Kassler. Please do not forget, make your voice heard. Get out and vote in this upcoming primary election on or before March 19th. Thank you for listening and have a great night.
From the Pritchard Laughlin Civic Center, this has been Meet the Candidates. This program is brought to you by Amy Kissinger for Guernsey County Commissioner, Guernsey County Senior Citizens Center, Bill Kogel for Guernsey County Commissioner, and the Pritchard Laughlin Civic Center.